The following program is made possible with the support of
Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sports Roundtable. We head into the final week of the regular season, and three of our area schools positioning for postseason play, and one school that actually completed its regular season this past week is Laney. And Coach, tight game, especially early on, and kind of took control of it in the second half.
Yeah, in the beginning, we went down and scored on the first drive. We wanted to try to start fast, and then they also started fast. They ended up getting a nice long return, setting them up for an easy touchdown. We scored again, and then they drove it down again with a nice long return on the special teams. They did a great job with their special teams, setting them up with a short field and getting those touchdowns and getting into the end zone. Second half, we just kind of, talked about tackling and what we needed to do to be successful, and they did a great job of executing the game plan.
Okay, plenty of tape. Let's take a look at some highlights then if we can. We're heading over to Laney for the final home regular season game.
Yeah, it was senior night, and as you can see, we've got the center logo up. That's an old school logo mixed with the new logo. I just want to give a shout out to Jan Bowman. She does a great job with making those logos, and she had help from Jackie Cruz, and those ladies did a great job for that senior night. It was a special moment. Miss Host, Miss Thompson, and Miss Blue, they also did a little lighting show and let the kids run out in the fog. It was a special night.
Neat.
It was very neat. That was Amik Watkins on that first carry, setting us up for the first touchdown of the night. As you can see, it was 11:15 on the clock. He does a great job, man. There's a difference between talented and skilled, and that guy has a lot of skill. He does a great job with his jump cut, reading his blocks, and setting things up. He's a special athlete, and we look forward to more to come in the future. With the 3-3 stack, they line up in a lot of different fronts and give us a bunch of different looks. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to see what they were lined up in and what they were doing, and try and do some things to counteract what they were doing defensively. That's Tyreek Lane connecting with Ryan Williams. He's a junior. He does a great job competing in practice, and it shows up on Friday nights. But yeah, Coach Smith does a great job with the defense and giving you some different fronts and different looks, and keeping you on your toes. So that's what we were doing all night long, just kind of checking and seeing what kind of fronts they were in, and then going with the play call from there. We're gonna, I believe this is a run or a pass by Amik. Yep, there's Tyreek Lane. He just makes a cut, sees it. Great athlete. You never know what you're gonna get from him. You see he's all over the place, and sometimes that can be difficult to block for him, but I tell you what, he does some special things, just off the cuff.
And as you spread them out, you give those lanes for your skill players.
Yes, sir. We want to try to do more of incorporating the option. We didn't, as the season went on, we went away from the triple option and went more to the read and the speed. But as you can see, when you get those athletes out in space, special things can happen. There's Amik fighting to get into the end zone there for the second score of the ball game. And again, Ashley did a great job on the special team, setting them up to keep the game, close. So we had to play for 4 quarters all night long. The thing about it is that special teams wise, for us, it's something that there's 3 phases to the game, and we got to make sure we shore those things up and make sure we got that all together. That's a burst screen there to Justin Billingsley. He's also a junior. One of the things that he does a great job of in practice is also competing. One of the things that we got to keep doing is, owning the process. Can't be taking days off. You got to be that same guy every single day, and that's what we're trying to work towards. Is coming to practice, putting that battle gear on, and going to work, because the work that you put in Monday through Thursday is going to show up on Friday night. And again, that week we tried to change some things up. We had a little bit more fun in practice, but one of the things that we want to try to do is keep the focus there. we drew this up just like that at practice. Tyreek Lane does things like this right here, and luckily we didn't have an offensive lineman downfield. That was actually a screen all the way. It's just surprising that the offensive linemen stayed in where they were and didn't get upfield, and he did a great job of finding Imeke.
All right, let's take a look at the formation. I mean, they show you your initial look.
Right, yes, sir.
And then if we see it as we've seen in past formations, of course, this time we don't see it on the straight handoff, but we'll see it a little bit later. But you can see quarterback, receivers, backfield after the initial look. They look to your sideline for the checkoff.
Yes, sir. We don't ever want those guys to not know what's going on. So the offensive linemen, they stay in their stance if they have the hand down. The tight ends are usually, in a 2-point. I don't like saying that because it kind of gives away our hard count. But they all look to the sideline so everybody has an idea what the play is. It's Tyreek's job to make sure he gets that verbal to the offensive line.
But that's a big progression for a high school team. Because, I mean, that's that extra level
right.
that some teams can't handle, especially early on in the year.
Well, with Tyreek being a senior, he's done that in the past, so that definitely helps with the, the age factor and the experience in it all. And then with the offensive line, it's pretty easy in the fact that, our blocking assignments, covered, uncovered, those types of things like that. So it depends on the play, but, they do a great job of executing and communicating with each other.
Okay, so you're in a unique position. I mean, you're finished. You're now watching everybody play this last week. Close the year 4-2.
Yes, sir.
5-5.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably go big.
Right.
Comfortable with where this team is, and how do you treat this down week before you have to gear up?
Well, surprisingly, yeah, we do have a bye week this week, but we needed this, to be honest with you. Again, injuries have been big. We had a lot of guys that were out in that game there. We had to bring up some JV guys, and they did a great job Friday night, of executing our game plan. And that's just a testament of us, running the same thing defensively and offensively with the JV level. But again, this week is going to be about resting the guys, getting their feet back underneath them. Again, we're going to get in the weight room, we're going to get stronger and those types of things. But right now, we're just trying to get those bodies back again.
Okay, that's the picture from over Laney. We'll take a look at some other programs when we come right back. Welcome back to the program. Heading down to South Brunswick for New Hanover highlights. And, Kevin, I know you continue to talk about you're looking for the consistency, you're looking to step forward. You pick up another conference win, but it wasn't easy.
No, I just, it was a half day. It's Halloween, and that was pretty much our mentality going down there. I ripped them before we sent our first group out for specialties, and then ripped them when we sent the group back out for our pregame warm-up. And then when we got done with that, I ripped them again. I ended up talking to the moon, I think, 3 or 4 times, but that was how the game started. We just, we scrimmaged them early in the year. I think we scored 18 touchdowns when we scrimmaged them, and it's kind of hard for our kids to get up for that. But compliment to Coach Finn and his staff. I'll make it known I'm voting for him Coach of the Year in our conference and in this area. I mean, the job he's done in that program in 1 year, but also from the team we scrimmaged at the beginning of the year to the team he has now, I've never seen anything like that. The improvement. And that's a compliment to him and his staff. Okay.
You mentioned improvement. We're going to take a look at some highlights now. I know you're constantly looking for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Week to week, game to game, series to series.
Well, we end up going to my father-in-law's this weekend, and my father-in-law was telling me, that I'm never happy. I guess maybe that's got to change, but it ain't the score. It's how you play the game, and I feel like we were a lot better football team than we're playing right now, and that's kind of, a lot of it's due to the injuries and other things that's taking place this year, but we just continue making way too many mistakes. The uniforms looked outstanding. The seniors done a great job mixing and matching the uniforms. I'll tell you, that was a good look with the black pants and the white stripe, and they've done an excellent job selecting the uniforms this year. Keegan Santos getting healthy, Rashawn Johnson getting healthy. After we lost Malachi and then lost Bats, and Keegan got moved over to the offensive side, and I'll tell you what, those 2 guys, we'll have them back really give us a great 1-2 punch running the football. That was Nikema Walker. He has just had a phenomenal year. And there he is again. He's a tremendous football player, a tremendous athlete, and we've got to find a place for him to go to JUCO, and so he'll have some other opportunities. Great one-headed catch by Garrett right there. Another tremendous player. He's been officially offered by Elon, Wofford, UNC Charlotte, Charleston Southern. There's several, but he's going to end up getting some big-time offers. Right here they ran a little draw. Makai Sumter, it's good to have him finally back. He's a phenomenal player, and we lost him, I guess, for 5 games, 6 games, and he's coming back, and that makes us better, him putting the pressure there and causing the fumble and ending up getting it. Offensively, we really started clicking. We ended up calling the Cats off there about the beginning of the 3rd quarter, honestly. Ward had a great game. He's had a tremendous year. Doesn't get the credit he deserves. He gets all the blame because being the quarterback, everybody wants to blame those guys. Hondo, Corinne Castillo, we call him Hondo. He's our left tackle. He's played left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle this year. Their young man, I think, is committed to NC State, and Hondo put an old-fashioned butt whooping on him all night long. That kid can flat out play. And he's got Catawba and Pembroke going to offer him, but he is a guy that can flat out play. 41-21, like I said, we called the Cats off there early, I think after the first series in the 3rd quarter. And the guys started playing there in the 2nd quarter and in the 3rd quarter. But we got a ton of kids, a lot of reps, and no serious injuries, and got a W.
You've been talking about getting these people back,
Yep.
building the momentum.
Yep.
You have 1 game left. It'll
Yep.
be senior day,
Yep.
senior night at home against Topsail. What are you looking for these guys to do to take the next step? And I know you have 20-some seniors.
We got 24 seniors. You know, the biggest, I hate senior night. As a coach.
We didn't expect you to like it. So
well, and a lot of people, you know, don't understand that, but parents in the community don't understand. But when parents don't show up or loved ones don't show up, and it just breaks your heart to see the disappointment. And unfortunately, doing this as long as I've had, and my wife's had to be escorts, I've been escort, coach has been escorts, and so, you know, we've kind of been preparing our kids for that for the last couple of weeks, and just to handle those emotions. But that's a very emotional time, and just seniors, last time at Legion Stadium, and it may be the last time, you know, depending on the playoffs. Right now we could be an 8-9, just kind of depends, so it may be their last time playing at Legion Stadium. So we've got to weather those emotions, play football, let's jump out early, get some Cats off the field and get some other Cats on the field, and try to stay healthy going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're in a situation that if you can come out strong, you can get some people some time. You can also rest everybody going into the first week of the playoffs.
Well, that's, you know, last few games we felt like that if we come to play the way we're capable of playing, you know, by the end of the 1st quarter, maybe that 1st series, 2nd quarter, the game should be in control. And that's not being arrogant, just trying to be honest and the truth. But we didn't do that against West Brunswick at all. We made that into a 4-quarter game or a 3.5-quarter game, you know. And the other night I felt like we turned that into a 2.5-quarter game. And we've got to go ahead and start fast, eliminate the mistakes and the penalties, and go ahead and, you know, try to put somebody away now so we can, you know, do some things differently.
Okay. Topsail at New Hanover, 7:30 kickoff at Legion. It's senior night, chance to see some area high school football. This is the final week of the regular season. When we come back, we'll hear from Ashley. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Let's head over to Ashley, and we saw the Laney Ashley highlights from the Laney side. I know you've got to be pleased with the effort, and especially early on. You responded every time.
We did, and it was 21-12 for a long time, and we kind of went back and forth. You know, we didn't have the firepower on offense to keep up with them, especially with their quarterback and running back. But we felt real good about the effort, and I felt good about the effort every week. I've been real pleased with how hard we play. It's just, you know, the football technical skills we got to get better at.
Okay, let's take a look at some highlights if we can. We're heading over to Laney, Ashley and Laney, and, you know, he was commenting You had a great day, special teams.
Well, this kid right here, Stephon Russell, has done a good job for us all year, and we do a simple thing on kickoff return, just a double wedge, and we do it a couple of different ways, but it's just a simple thing, and it's like anything. You practice it enough, you'll get pretty good at it, and we've had good returns the entire year, pretty good averages with that. Their little running back here, 10th grader, he ran hard for us. He had over 100 yards rushing again. That's the third time this year that he's rushed for over 100 yards, and we're going to get out of this look and be more of an I-back football team here in the future. And he's a good I-back, tailback type kid, and runs the ball, gets downhill for us, and we've been real pleased with him as far as the rushing the football. He's rushed for right at 600 yards. He missed 2 games. But like I said, in 3 games, he's rushed for over 100 yards for us. And so those are bright spots for us. And again, he's a 10th grader, and we feel real good about him. And with that, he's only had 1 fumble. So that helps. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Here's some more of our special teams. Yeah, we've done a good job covering kicks this year for the most part. We've had a couple breakdowns throughout the year, but for the most part, we've been real pleased with that. Again, it's just keeping something simple and repping it 1,000 times.
Good
and then you get good at it. Yeah, that was Russell Corbett. He's a junior nose guard for us. He's does a good job for us. We've been real happy with him. Here's another, I keep calling 10th graders. They're not in 10th grade anymore as far as I'm concerned, but DC Russ. He's a really good baseball player for us at Ashley, but he's done a great job for us all year long, starting on defense, outside backer. Just great effort all the time from that kid. And we had 2, and this is back-to-back possessions here. You see there, he recovered a fumble because of a bad snap, and then he makes a play there to make a big stop for us. And defensively, it's the scores haven't shown it, but Coach Smith, our defense coordinator, does an absolutely great job, and it's really good for me because I can just turn my back on it. And I know the job's getting done in a great way. And our defensive staff have done a good job this year. And we're just going to work to keep getting better, keep fine-tuning that thing. Here's our little running back again. Ran for some tough yards. But like I said, rushed for over 100 yards again. Felt good about it. And like I said, we're going to get more of an eye-back look with him for next year anyway. And so he's going to be able to touch the ball a lot for us. Our quarterback scrambles again. Another little 10th grader we got up playing wide out for us, and so we've got those kids, those young kids especially, have gotten a lot of playing time this year, a valuable playing time and experience. And going into the off season, we're just going to try to carry that over for those guys, especially with our JV group. Got a great JV group, and they've been winning some games and playing well and playing hard. And so we're looking forward to taking those guys into the off season.
I know you're looking forward to continuing to build this program.
Right.
This was a big first step as far as just trying to put things in place this year. And that starts with your seniors. And I know you've got a number of seniors that'll be honored on Friday night.
Right. We've got 11 seniors. And the good thing about our seniors, with a small number that we've had on the varsity, they've all gotten to play and pretty much all get to start. And, of course, that makes mamas happy. But we've been real pleased with them, and they're good boys and haven't had an ounce of trouble out of any of them. And that's those are things that you don't see on the scoreboard, but things that we see each and every day. And I'm proud of what they've been able to work and do this year.
I know you've talked about in the past, but this is going to be, especially for the senior group, a couple of years from now, when this program looks back, they'll be the core that kind of help set everything in the right direction, even if the scoreboard didn't indicate it.
Right, and we talk to our kids, and I'll share this publicly, about legacy. What kind of legacy are you going to leave? Not just on your football team, but what type of legacy are you going to leave in your life? What's it going to say on your tombstone, kind of mentality. We talk to those kids about that. And so what are people going to say about you once you leave Ashley and about this program? And hopefully for them and for us, it'll be all good things and how they've been able to set the stage and the foundation. And, we're at the foundation level still. We ain't got the roof on the house yet. That's a ways to go. But we've been able to set a foundation with things the way I want it done, the way I think I want our program to mirror, and what we want to get out of these kids each and every day as they come to work.
Okay. Now, you've got a football game on Friday night.
Right.
West Brunswick, a lot of talent, big, strong back.
Right. They're talented in their backfield. They got a really good wide receiver. Their DBs are good. So all their everybody says skill position. I consider lineman skill position also, but the guys who touch the ball, they're pretty good and talented, well coached. I've known Coach Hanna for some time, even all the way back when I was in college, and he was a head coach at Hickory High School. A long time ago, and I know he does a great job with those guys and has done a good job this year of getting them ready to play and setting what he wants at West Brunswick. And just watching them on film, you can tell they're just a good, sound football team. And so we've got to bring our A game, and hopefully, playing at home, senior night, all that emotional stuff, we'll get that out of our system early and go play hard and get after them.
Okay, again, that's one final home game for Ashley this coming Friday night, 7:30. It is senior night against West Brunswick. When we come back, we'll stop over to Hoggard. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Our final segment is with Hoggard. And Coach, you go, this time last week you said you're going to West Brunswick. You need to get off to a good start. You need to kind of put the stamp on the game and then work through some other things. You came off the bus ready.
We did. I'm so proud of the football team because this is a game that we identified as a trap game coming off the big win against Laney, and then you're getting on a bus. You're going for a 1-hour bus ride to West Brunswick. Not a big crowd there. They're struggling a little bit, so not a huge crowd, and it's got all the makings of an emotional letdown. And yet, the leadership that we have on our team, I think the sense of determination that the team has to finish this thing out strong, really was evident Friday night. I think one of the ultimate compliments you can give a team as a head coach is that you trust that team. And I have a lot of trust in this football team. And that's, I think, an indication of the character of the team. I think it's an indication of the exceptional leadership on the team. Julius Reynolds is one of the most outstanding young men I've ever been around in 31 years of education. Hashim Michelle is a high motor, high intensity, very vocal leader for our football team. And they just set the tone, I think, for the whole football team. And we were able to get off to that fast start that we wanted to do. I think it kind of put the game away early. A lot of teams like West Brunswick, they're going to show up. They want to compete. They kind of want to believe that they got a shot.
Final home game.
Yeah, final home game, senior night, all that. And if you can jump on them early, it kind of shatters that belief. And I think that's what we were able to do Friday night.
Let's take a look at some highlights as we see Hoggard on the road, and as we mentioned, offensively, you got off to that quick start.
Yeah, here we are early on, going to motion Harrison across, trying to work in, a lot of play action pass because we've got such a great running back in Keevan Thompson. So this is Austin Schonlieber throwing deep to Evan Allegre. Again, I think the corner kind of got caught peeking in the backfield at Keevan, and Evan was able to slip behind him for a big play. It was a second down play and a big play, our first drive of the game. Here we are going to fake a little jet sweep, and Austin's going to bring it back on the counter. Pretty athletic kid, ran a 4.6 at the Shrine Bowl Combine, so he's got the ability, shifty runner. He's got the ability to make plays there with his feet.
What a great job by that offensive line.
And the offensive line has just done an outstanding job. Defensively, here's some guys. Jeremiah Andrews, I thought, had his best game for us this year. Number 42, outside linebacker. He has come such a long way. So proud of him. Has done such a better job in the classroom and met the expectations we've laid out for him. There's our whole D front there, and they're doing a great job. Larry Rouse, Hashim Michelle, Omar Jones, William Dykes, Tony Moore. Those 5 guys, we rotate those guys in, and they all play and do a great job. There's Traquan Williams, I think the best corner I've seen this year, number 4 for us, getting his hand on the ball and deflecting it away. Here's Austin on a little screen back to Harrison. Cooper Booth out front. You see Sly, Sylvester Smith out front too. Chris Scialis, our center, should have peeled back there, but he's hustling. He's hustling and doing a good job for us. Here we are here, kind of a little sprint out. Pretty good protection there. We get the ball to Harrison. He's trying to get it in the end zone. Great effort. I think we're going to punch it in here, right here with Keevan. Keevan only had 11 carries in the game, I think about 125 yards, something like that, but just continues to do a great job for us. We're trying to keep him healthy, kind of hoping for a long playoff run, and he's had some 30-carry games and some 40-carry games, and I think he's got some more of those in his future. Again, great job up front. Hashim Michelle, Julius Reynolds at linebacker, Jeremiah Andrews, Mason Whitlow. This was a great goal line stand. West Brunswick put a good little drive together, and our guys kind of drew a line in the sand there and stopped them. There's Robert Pickford coming off the edge. Coach Turner, our D coordinator, does some very creative things defensively and with blitzes. And so there's our free safety coming off the edge, kind of helping blow up the play. Here's a little speed option. We used to run a lot of this, don't run as much anymore, but maybe after watching this play, we should run it more. Keevan does a great job. Kind of wish he had stayed outside on that, but I'm not going to argue with him. He's just got great natural talent, vision, hips, feet, and he's got the heart of a lion. Just a great football player. Here we are coming back. Look again, a little play action fake. Get the DBs kind of got man coverage here actually, and Harrison's able to do a great job of lunging for the little pylon cone for the touchdown. So real happy for Austin Shonley, but I think he was like 9 of 10 for about 150 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns. Not a big statistics guy. He did that all in the second quarter, or by the second quarter. He didn't throw a ball. He didn't play in the second half. So he was on track for, a really great day of passing, but trying to get everybody in. Here's Keevan here, a little counter play. Candair out front blocking for him, trying to pick out some other guys. I think that's Sam Stevens, pulling guard out there. There's Evan Allegray and Harrison Smith downfield as wideouts blocking, doing a great job. Keevan took that, 60 yards or so, and he got to sit for the second half as well. He could have had a 250-yard day if we had left him in. That's our whole defensive front there. You can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a linebacker. Coach bringing a little bit of heat there and just doing a great job defensively. You can see Jeremiah Andrews kind of walked up. This is a punt. And they had trouble with snaps. We went ahead and went after this one, right second quarter action. We were able to get great field position out of it. We throw the ball to Nick Clay. Nick did a great job of taking it down to about the 3-yard line. And from there, Keevan's going to score right before the half, puts us up 35-0, and I think that was the final score as well.
You mentioned the trust you have in this team. It all starts with the senior.
Oh, absolutely.
Great senior group being honored on Friday.
It's going to be a neat night. I hope all the Hogger Vikings will come out and support this team. It's a good group of guys, special group to me. In light of what I went through earlier in the year, and they've been very supportive. So,
South Brunswick comes in, and we've seen improvement in that team. Focus on football.
Yeah, we played South Brunswick in the Jamboree, and it was very early stages. I guess Coach only had about 2 weeks of practice with them at that point. And they weren't a very good football team, but looking at the film, you can see the progress that they've made, and Coach has got them competing. I think the big thing is if he'll just stay there, he'll have that program up and running in no time. He's a good football coach, and they've got some players, and we need to have a great week in practice. Same old thing. We're going to work hard in practice and trying to improve. It's not too late to get better. And then we need to show up Friday night ready to play, because I assure you South Brunswick's going to come over and give us their best shot.
Okay, senior night at Hoggard, again, 7:30 kickoff. In fact, senior nights at Hoggard, at Ashley, and at Hanover. 3 opportunities to support area high school football on this, the final week of the regular season, as the postseason is just around the corner. We'll see you next week here on Sports Roundtable. Good night, everybody.